And here we are. Welcome back to Adventure Sophomore, where we never sit out. We're here again. It's 2:45 a.m. I haven't examined 7 hours, guys. But again, we don't sit out. Here we are, just a few days from the NFL draft. And I know you guys are wondering because you know how much you guys loved CD and I's picks for the college football season when we got after those, and we did a pretty good job with those. Not gonna lie. I'm sure you want to know what are our best bets for the NFL draft coming up. Look, before we get into that, I am going to ask you guys because the support has been so great these last couple weeks. Please, 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 please consider liking the video if you like the content and subscribing as well. Right? We just hit 250, so thank you guys so much for that. That was awesome. We've received more traffic in the last couple days on this channel that we ever have in the history of this channel, which is pretty bonkers to think about the growth there. And, you know, part of that is, us working hard, but part of that is, you guys and the response you guys give us, it allows us to keep doing this. And we love doing this, man. I want to do this for as long as I want to do this forever, man. Like this stuff is awesome. So I love doing this. But yeah, we're here today to give you guys our best bets. Today, I've got 7 best bets. CD, how many best bets do you have today? You have a plethora of best bets.
8 to 10. I'll let you. That makes more sense once we go through it, but about 8 to 10. Okay.
Yeah. And some of ours overlap because, if you haven't already noticed, if uh you haven't been following us for a while, CD and I are brothers. We do think a lot alike and we see football through similar lenses, but
We're
those
also
lenses
high on some certain people that we do not think are gonna be. We're gonna be long gone. So that's why we see that value there. And if you watch our mock drafts, you probably have maybe considerations on who you think it is. But yeah, let's get into this here.
yeah, absolutely. Before actually, right, real quick. So speaking of mock drafts, make sure you check out our other mock drafts. We have 4 of them out as this video is out right now. There'll be another one coming out the day after this video is posted, and then we will have she and I have our individual mock drafts that'll be coming out Thursday morning. So make sure you guys are looking at your phones, looking at your computers, getting ready, seeing what we're doing, and then you guys do your own mock drafts and grade yourselves against us. See how you do. And so it's kind of crazy. So I don't expect to get a lot right because this is kind of going to be a crazy draft, but I am super, super excited. But part of the excitement is the thing is little gambling advice for anyone who's partaking in that. The NFL draft, if you do the research, man, if you do the research, watch the film, uh, listen to folks, follow the tea leaves, like we know because everything's so locked down in these facilities, like we know as much as the books do. There's no statisticians sitting there behind desks and like analyzing. These are just odds makers that just make odds. They just make them. So us sitting here, the way that we dive into college football and the NFL draft, you feel like you have some sort of advantage over these guys, and we're here to take their money. Isn't that right?
That's just it. Yeah, the only way to do this is just pure gut and instincts. I'm like, hey, this guy, I genuinely believe there are not 22 players better than him. And I think there's a lot of GMs that are gonna agree with me on that.
I know who
So
exactly you're talking about.
let's get into this.
All right, I'll let you start us off because you have more than I do.
Yeah, so I'll start first one that's different than you. Um, it's going to be first running back taken. And if you just watched our previous video on first or second round, you know it's going to be Trey Benson. And why he may not go in that first round at plus 200 to be the first overall running back taken over an injury coming off an ACL, Jonathan Brooks, is money after running a 4.39, unbelievable tape, no holes in this game. I love this. He would be my number one overall pick. I thought the odds were going to be a little bit tighter with him and Jonathan Brooks. I get that Jonathan Brooks loves. We love Jonathan Brooks. You've been on him high since the offseason. Like Trey Benson's a guy, or Jonathan Brooks is a guy that's very, very good, but he's also coming off the ACL. I think that's going to scare teams away. And Trey Benson is also deserving to be the first running back taken.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I actually really do love that pick. Now, I did mock Jonathan Brooks to the Cowboys. That was like literally hours before Royce Freeman signed. with the Cowboys. Plus, I don't know. Jerry Jones does some crazy stuff. All right, can we just get that out of the way? So I did want to throw in a scenario where they do take a running back, and I thought that maybe it might be Jonathan Brooks, whatever. But I do agree with you. Like if I was a GM, I would be taking Trey Benson over Jonathan Brooks. I do think Jonathan Brooks is an absolutely nutty talent, but like what you said, the injuries, I also think Trey Benson just does everything well. He's not as pure of a runner in between the tackles as Jonathan Brooks is because Jonathan Brooks, as we know, is nuts in between. By the way, if you haven't watched Jonathan Brooks' film, like this isn't, we're not trying to talk about Jonathan Brooks here, but his film, like his vision in between tackles is ridiculous. Okay. But Trey Benson, some of those outside zone plays, dude, he makes some really nice cuts. He makes people miss. It is hard to bring that guy down. And he also is a really great pass catcher. Like he just does everything well. He does everything that you need a running back to do well. I like that pick a lot. I'll go next. I'm gonna scroll down my board here. Drake May to go second overall is plus 275. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I'm missing something. Like, why is that number at plus 275? I will gladly take Drake May, second overall, plus 275. It might not hit. You know, I get the Cliff Kingsbury, oh, yeah, you like the quarterbacks that throw to outside the numbers. Drake May can do that too. Like, what are we talking about? I think he's a better football player than Jaden Daniels. Now, Jaden Daniels is a spectacular athlete and he's a very good quarterback. And I agree that he should be taken in the top five, top 10, whatever. I just think Drake May is so good. I think he's so good. I think the Commanders will be making a mistake passing up on him and taking Jaden Daniels. So for that reason, I don't know if this is all smokescreen uh to get, field offers from the Raiders who we know are tied to Jaden Daniels. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I guess come draft day, I'm taking Drake May, second overall at plus 275.
That's money. That's great value there. I like it. I'm with you right there. To me, I really, really love the idea. I just don't know if I trust the Commanders organization
Yeah,
to make the right
that
pick. That's why
that's
I'm
the thing.
not throwing some dough on it. But no, to me, he is my number two quarterback. He should by far and away be the second overall pick in this draft. I think I'm very firm on that. But obviously, it's crazy. It's draft
Mostly,
season, the drama, the smokescreen. You don't know.
here's my thing too. Like, and it's not like I have the same opinions as Daniel Jeremiah, but he's someone that I follow pretty closely because he's pretty in tune with a lot of these programs, and he also predicted the Will Anderson trade last year, if you don't recall. But Adam Peters is a really good friend of his, who's now the current general manager of the Washington Commanders. And Daniel Jeremiah is mocking Drake May on number two overall. Plus, they traded away Sam Howell pretty early. Dude, what was that stuff that Brian Kelly was talking about with Jane Daniels?
I have no idea.
Uh,
And then he recanted it. Whatever happened, a lot has gone up. But also, there were then reports that the Jaden Daniels didn't go well with the Commanders, and then
Yeah, that's
who knows? That's
ML.
the thing. Who knows? That's what the only thing that doesn't
Eh,
lie is the tape. The tape does not lie. And when I watch Drake May, I know he's a better quarterback than Jaden Daniels, or I believe he is.
better prospect. Even if you don't
Yeah.
believe he's a better quarterback, because Jane Daniels was the best individual player in college football last year. No
Yeah.
one can
That's
disagree with
good
that.
point. Thank you.
But
Yeah.
so there's a distinction there. But Drake May is a better quarterback prospect than Jaden Daniels. That is fact in this show's opinion. So I will take that plus 275 gladly. Because what are the implied odds on that? I'm gonna look that up right now. Implied probability. Because like, dude, think about plus 275. That's like that's like a 14-point underdog losing in college football. You're telling me that Drake May is a 14-point underdog to Jay Daniels, essentially?
No. That yeah. When you put it like that, that's kind of crazy. Although I wish you
I
could put
guess
this. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean I can look I don't have the spreads to uh money line exactly memorized, but plus 275 is a 26.7% probability. You're telling me that Jaden Daniels has a 74% chance of going ahead of Drake May. I say nay. So give me the value, give me the value. Even if it's like Jaden Daniels is like 55-45, right? Still positive EV. So if you're a finance major, all you business people.
Nice. The next one I'm gonna go here is again another guy we just talked about in our previous video, Chop Robinson, and another guy that who I know you're a little higher on him than I am. I'm sure there are some NFL scouts that are higher on him though, but I do believe that those particular NFL scouts reside after pick 26 and a half at plus 160. Are you kidding me? Chop Robinson, I'm not sure he's going to go in the first round, and he's at 26 and a half at plus money. Give me the over. I love that. I think you take a guy like him at 30, right? At 28, at 29, at 31, even 32, 34. Those are where you get guys like him. I don't see him going to 25 or 23. Like that's way too early for me, in my opinion, on Chop Robinson. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, but I do think with that value there, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Also, I was a little bit off on my Jaden Daniels thing. It's not a 14-point spread. It would be like a 9-point spread. All right. Just for anyone in the comments that was going to clamor about that. So, anyways, but yeah, I like your take there. I think edge is just such a value position though. Like people could reach for an edge. Like and Chop Robinson has the tools, right? Not as toolsy as some of the other guys at the top of the draft, not as polished as some of the guys at the top of the draft, but we've seen guys with more tools than actual production or polish, get taken pretty high as edge rushers, you know, and some of them have paid off. Some of them have paid off.
The thing I think about too is when we've done our mock drafts, we've done a couple now where Latu or um I'm sorry,
Dallas
I can't
Turner
Jared, yeah, no,
or
that's what
Jared Verse. Oh, Jared Verse.
Jared
Oh, you're
verse,
talking about
guys like that
slipping.
slipping down into the 20s. And if those guys are available in the 20s, like they're gonna go, in my opinion, before Chop Robinson, and it's just gonna
Yeah.
keep sliding him down the board. And so that's why I think there are more scenarios than not where he's over 26 and a half, and with the plus money, I like it. I like
Yeah,
it. Why
plus
not?
plus
It's the NFL
plus
draft.
160. Plus 160. Why not? Why not? Yeah, I like your intuition there. I'm not gonna follow
Also,
you. Again, we're differencing on some of the, we have three picks though, which we are absolutely on together. But
real quick, while you're on the topic of not following me, I do want to say disclaimer, right? We are not experts. We are not advising you to put money on this. We are not advising you to take our picks. We have to put that out there just so we don't get in trouble. But it's a fun exercise to do. I'm very intrigued with the whole spreads and lines and odds and all that stuff, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers are as well. If you want to follow and tail, that's your prerogative. But we're not forcing you. We don't actually encourage gambling. And if we do gamble, obviously be safe and smart about your finances.
have fun.
No.
That's
All
my
right, what's
advice.
next? What's next? What's next?
All right. Um, I'll go. Here's where I'll go. Tyler Guyton. I'll go with another over 28 and a half at plus 196. Do I think Tyler Guyton goes in the first round? Yes. All right. So you're like, oh, well, that's you're cutting it pretty close there at the end of the first round. Here's the thing. Tyler Guyton, some of these guys in the first round are drafting a tackle because they need someone to play right away. I do not believe that Tyler Guyton is ready to start at tackle in the NFL. So where does that mean he falls? That means he could fall to the 49ers. He could fall to the Raiders, or sorry, the Ravens. I think those would be really, really good spots because Tyler Guyton is so toolsy and so long, and he's just not polished though. He's not ready to start in the NFL at tackle. I mean, you've seen guys, walk into the NFL not ready necessarily, or more toolsy than uh, having tools over production. But yeah, Tyler Guyton over 28 and a half. I believe that he goes uh, in the back end of the first round, if not, I guess early second round. But I think it's minus 1,000 to go in the first round. So, and look, I believe it. I think he's in a lot of folks' top 32 prospects consensus. I think he's a top 26 prospect or something. Last time I checked. But sometimes it's not on the board false. I give Tyler Guyton at plus 196 to go over 28 and a half. How are we feeling?
I like that. I'm a guy that's just kind of stayed away from Guyton at times in a mock draft. I do think 20 again, like he could still be a first rounder and this could still cash. I mean, you look at teams like the Lions, the Ravens, the 49ers, Chiefs, teams where he would fit in nicely, but those all cash at over 20 and a half. And also like you said, and it's similar to my thinking on Chop Robinson, it's like there's going to be 8 to 9 offensive linemen taken before him, right? And so like naturally, like there are going to be team like guys that just slide, and it's just going to happen. It happens every year. Joey Porter, look at him. He ended up in the second round, right? Like he was a legit first round player, ended up in the second round just because of the way the board fell. To me,
Well,
I love
also
that.
that the
More
the 32nd pick was also a second round pick last year.
sure, say, but also 32nd pick cashes in this scenario. But I do think like what I'm saying is like there's going to be tackles that are going to be pushed down the board that are ahead of Tyler Guyton, like a Graham Barton or a Jordan Morgan or a JC Latham or whoever it may be, like offensive lineman that you feel better about than Tyler Guyton. Boom. And also, if you are picking in the early 20s, you're probably a piece or two away from really competing, right? And so you're looking for a guy with immediate value right now, where if you're, in that early second round or um, late first round, like you're not necessarily needing a guy to plug in and be a above average starter for. You can take a guy that can help you in years down the line. I love this. Love this. At plus 196, that's awesome.
Plus 196. And well, here's the thing that could kill it though. Like there are some tackles, quote unquote, uh, that I think maybe some GMs could view them as guards, right? And
Yeah.
then in that scenario, right, like does a team view JC Latham as a guard? Even though he's gigantic, like does he profile better as a guard? There's like the way he blocks, right? Like uh Fuanga, do they profile him as a guard? Graham Barton, is he a guard? Is he a center? Is he a tackle? I mean, he can do anything, right? But it's like, where do you where do you put some of those guys? It's like uh I don't know. I don't know. I think he's a good football player. He's got a lot of potential for sure, but I'm going to take him in the back end of the first round to go over 28.5 at plus 196. I'll
I
let
love
you.
that. I love
How about you do two in a row? Because I only got two more, and then we got three that we actually came up with together. So
Yeah.
I
So
like when
I'm
we
gonna go
agree
right
on
here.
things.
When I said before, like 8 to 10, like I don't really know how to classify this because these two picks are Joe Alt picks, and these are just like the first one I'll give you is just if you're gonna throw it in a parlay, right? It's just extra value. Joe Alt at under 7.5. I get it, it's minus 360, and I know that adds nothing to you. But if you want to say you hit a 5 leg parlay and you already have him four uncrafted, you fucking throw Joe Alt in there because it is a mega lock. There's no way he's getting past 7 with the Titans there. I don't I and here's why. Here's why I love this because my next best bet is Joe Alt at number 5 at plus 450. I love the juicy line there. And guess what? Pick me a scenario here where it goes quarterback, 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 and the Cardinals they stick and pick and they take Marvin Harrison. And let me tell you, I think that Jim Harbaugh would be licking his chops to take a guy like Joe Alt. I know you have Rashawn Slater. I get that. But Joe Alt is an alpha elite offensive tackle in this league. You do not say no to him at number 5 there. I get it if the Vikings or even the Giants or whoever else is calling up to get JJ McCarthy or whoever they want to take at number 5. I do think like there's a legit scenario where they stick and pick there at number 5, and it's the Chargers taking Joe Alt. That's why I love it there. Plus 450 is awesome value there. And last mock track, I took him there because I thought that's where it would happen. And even Marvin Harrison was still on the board. I still think like they just do not value wide receiver at all. Like Jim
Yeah,
Harbaugh does not.
that's very true. That is very true.
And so that's why I think Joe Walt, like I think it's super interesting. Super interesting. And I'm also kind of rooting for it. Plus 450, Joe Walt number 5. Am I crazy? Am I crazy?
Look, I'm not riding with you on that. Uh, just so you know, I will be rooting for that to happen though.
Wouldn't that be
Uh,
awesome? And that'd be so Jim Harbaugh. Let me come to the college football and let me take 5, 6 years to figure out how to work at Michigan and piss everyone off in the process of doing it. And let me come to the NFL and fucking take Joe out number 5 and just piss everyone else off, piss the Titans off, right? And like everyone who's mocked them at 7 and whatever else, and I'll be happy. I'll be happy.
you'll be very happy. I'll move over to mine. Uh, this is an interesting one. Colts to take a wide receiver with their first pick at plus 250. Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm hearing what you Colts fans are saying. They need DB. They need DB. Look, Chris Ballard is not going to draft someone with a RAS score of under 9.5. All right. And there's one corner that is a first round grade that has that, and that is Quinyon Mitchell. And my belief is that Quinyon Mitchell will be off the board by then because I think he is so good and he is the number one corner in this class. And corner is a premier position. I think Quinyon Mitchell could go top 10 for all we know, right? But alas, if he's not there at 15 for the Colts, also I've heard some steam about the Colts trading up for a receiver potentially, which would be pretty nuts. But I do think if they stick a pick at 15, you got two guys on the board that I think that they could take Brian Thomas Jr. and they could also take AD Mitchell. Both guys 9.98, 9.99 on the RAS score scale. I mean, exactly the type of profile of athlete that Chris Ballard's looking for. I think they could definitely pair one of these wide receivers with Michael Pittman uh, to help out Anthony Richardson, right? Because the idea is like you got to help out Anthony Richardson too. Like people forget he's coming off an injury. If you forgot who the quarterback of the Colts was, yeah, he was a top 4 draft pick last year for the Indianapolis Colts. Thought he played okay in the games that he played. Let's go wide receiver. Let's help him out, man.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. I think it makes sense too, like to take that pick at plus 250 instead of taking a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. and his under or whatnot. Like I think that's the value there because you also get that factor of potential where you could trade up and get a guy like Malik Neighbors or Roma Dunze and all that stuff. I think it's money. I think it's money. Um, yeah, I guess you're there. I'm gonna go ahead and say one of our combined one, if that's all right with you. I thought I had an extra one, but I ended up deciding not to do that one, so I forgot to take that
Wait,
out.
you're not.
Then I'll do that. Absolutely,
I
I'll
thought
do
you had
that
this
one.
guy.
I do. I was waiting until we talked about him. I guess at the time, but here, I'm gonna take two picks with Maris Mims. All right, and I'll um, tell you the first one, and that's when I'm solo riding. Second one, Matthew's hopping on, and I think it makes sense for me to do
Well,
both
actually,
because
we have we have two that we're riding on together with him,
oh, I guess I mean
and then
Jesus
your
Christ.
individual one. There's a lot going
Okay,
on here with
I
Amarius
fucking
Mims.
love Amarius Mims in this draft class. So does
I
Matthew. I think, and guess what? So do a lot of GMs, right? And I am staring down the Jaguars at 17 who would love him. And guess what? The Colts, I know you just talked about the type of wide receiver. I don't think it's crazy they take a guy like that. I don't
no,
think the Raiders, I don't think it's crazy for them to take. I don't think it's crazy for the Jets to take a guy like Amarius Mims, right? I do, and this is why second offense lineman taken off the board behind Joe Alt, Amarius Mims at plus 4 fucking thousand. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Excuse my language. It is 3 a.m. right now, but I'm fired up about Amarius Mims because he is at plus 4,000 to be the second. That okay? And listen. I'm not advising you to take this, but I do think there's legit value in this, and I'm not just bullshitting you. Joe Alt number one, fine. That's gonna happen. He's not gonna go above Joe Alt. I can't. Huanga, Batanu, Fashano, those like yeah, I think there's a legit same tier that Mims is in. And by the way, Mims's ceiling and athletic profile is greater than all of those ones, all the ones ahead of him. So like that's why the value is there to take him second off. His tape is unbelievable for a guy with that little experience, right? He doesn't even have like he had one injury history. That was it. One injury in college. That was it, bro.
at that
Olufashano has
size,
questions. Olufashano has questions. Run blocking. Fuanga has questions pass pro. Fatano has questions sticking out at tackle.
that
Mims,
size, yeah.
to me at right tackle, zero questions. You plug and play. I see the Jets right there. They thought they took a guy like that, Mekhi Becton. No, 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 no. Amaris Mims is that guy. Number 10, the Jets, Amaris Mims. Not that's not the bet. The bet is second O line taken, Amaris Mims, plus
At
4,000.
plus 4,000, that is 40 to 1, ladies and gentlemen. $5 would win you
And
$200. Not
and by the
that you
way,
should do that.
you should, and by the way, not to go crazy here, but like let's just say that I just have this O line class just narrow down exactly what's going to happen. And Joel goes number 5 to the Chargers. Like is it crazy for the Titans to just panic and take Mims? I don't know. I'm
Who?
just saying I don't know. But I'm saying like you want a 6'8" freak in Joe Alt. Well, why don't you take 6'8" right tackle Joe Alt and put him Amaris Mims there? Yeah,
Yeah, this the size of Darnell Wright last year. I mean, we talked like people questioned the offense that he was in, right? It was like, oh, is he going to translate? Yeah, he's got the size and he's got the absolute aggressive nature and the finishing of the blocks and the great in pass protection. Yeah, he has everything, but oh, the offense that he was in is his pass drops were really consistent. The pocket doesn't really move a whole lot. Those are the question marks there. Ryan Poles as an offensive lineman, in his former life, he's like, give me that, right? Who's to say that? I think it's a pretty similar situation with the management. They're different players. I'm not trying to compare that. I'm not trying to say that they're similar players, but it's a similar situation, kind of. I think like
there's precedent
there's
for a right
one.
tackle to be taken.
I agree. I agree 100%. I like that. I'm not riding that one with you, but we'll talk about our marriage Mims picks in the ones that we share in just a minute here. But Byron Murphy to go top 10 is plus 300. Who do I think he could go to? I think a lot of teams. I think a lot of teams. I don't think he'd go as early as five, but I think he could go eight, nine, or 10. At plus 300, I think the Bears could definitely take him. I know they invested three defensive tackles last year in the draft, and Javon Dexter looks okay. Zach Pickens does his thing on third downs. Byron Murphy does everything. All right, he's nuts. He's a guy that you kind of can't miss, and the value that people put on the position of defensive tackle in recent years, pretty substantial. Pretty substantial. So Falcons also need some interior help as well. The Jets, I mean, they don't need interior help, but boy, do they love drafting defensive linemen. So I, I'm not insanely confident on that one, but I did think the plus 300 had some value to it because I do think that the Bears are really, there's a good chance that they could take them, I think. Um,
Yeah, and if you look at like how the mock's gonna go, like you feel good about, the first 6 or 7 picks are probably gonna be, the
Quarterback,
couple
wide
four
receiver.
quarterback wide receivers and Joe Alt, right? And so after that, like there is a lot of variance to be there in terms of like a lot of players in that second tier of like Odunze is there, Mitchell, Byron Murphy is certainly in that mix, and that's why I like that value there. Maris Mims, dare I say? But like you've got like there's legit scenarios where that happens, and I like that. 8, 9, 10, three chances for him to go, and also for a team to trade up for him because again, like yeah, we like Johnny Newton, but he's a little bit different player than Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy is 101. And interior D line, we said it all offseason, we said it all draft season. Those guys are getting paid. That's a positional value. That is a yeah, position of value. And so don't be surprised to see him in the top 10. I like that. I'm not riding with you, but I like that.
Yeah. Let's get into, we'll call this section the golden tickets. All right. Because these are the ones that CD and I are both riding together. One of them is way less likely than the other two. We'll save that one for last. Well, let's talk about that one right now, actually.
Yeah, let's
Third
get out of the
offensive
way.
line. So you already took second offensive lineman taking Amarius Mims at plus 4,000. I will ride with you on third offensive lineman taking Amarius Mims at plus 1,300. Yeah, 1,300, that is. Um, so yeah, that's like $10 to win 130. Not that you should, not that you should be throwing around $10 on that. Go buy yourself a Chipotle burrito. You know, but
Or
you could also end
13.
up or 13 when it cashes. But yeah, we don't need to like talk about that much more. Just third offensive lineman. Like I really do like Fuanga. I think there's some teams that really like Fuanga. So I think he could end up going before Marius Mims, but I like Marius Mims probably better than Fontenot. And I also like him better than Fashanu. Fashanu? Oh, Fashanu. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, actually, believe it or not. So yeah, I mean, we don't need to get into the nitty gritty of that. The last Amarius Mims pick, and then we are done talking about Amarius Mims, or maybe not.
For this video.
Amarius Mims under 22 and a half at plus 130.
crazy.
Are you serious? Eh, Should we go through the list of teams that could potentially take Amari's Mims that are under 22 and a half? I'm talking Steelers. I'm talking Rams. I'm talking Raiders. I'm talking Jets. I'm talking Colts. I'm talking Jaguars. There are so many tackle needy teams, even if our Mary Smith's picks don't hit out like that, they're the second or third offensive lineman. There's no way that Amarius Mims is the sixth tackle off the board, in our opinions. And I think that there's a really good chance that there are six tackles that go off the board before 22 and a half.
I really see like there are probably 9 to 10 teams, from that pick number 10 and on that I would not be surprised that are looking for a guy like Amir Smith and that fit their profile. I mean, I mentioned the Jaguars earlier. I mean, that's Trent Baalke's dream right there. A guy like Amarius Mims, the Colts, their RAS score, they love that. I mean, you just can never have as much like good bodies in the tackle room as you have. Like, yeah, I absolutely love it. The Bengals, the Rams, the Steelers, like it all makes way too much sense for him to be there past pick 23 or 22, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's weird that it's at plus money. Like, what do they know that we don't know? You know?
But they don't. I don't know. Don't know.
I hope we're right, man. I hope
We're
we're
gonna
right.
be. I mean, when he
We're gonna
goes second O line taken,
not third.
fine, I'll let you get in. We'll go third. But yeah, I mean, if we're wrong about Maris Mims, that's one I can be okay with because I think he's gonna prove people wrong in the NFL anyways. So if I die in that tree, I die in that tree. And I think a lot of people in our section or in our fan base and our comment sections will be agreeing with us on that too.
I hope so. I hope so. Let's talk about our last pick on the golden ticket slate for best bets for the NFL draft. And I might throw a couple fun ones in there, like day of, if I'm feeling a little frisky. Uh Responsibly, of course. AD Mitchell under 27 and a half is at plus 130 in some places. Look, the over under on trades in the first round is at 6.5. What are the positions that you would trade for? Quarterback, right? But really, the first three spots are kind of set, right? For the most part. And you would think that the three teams there would stick and pick the quarterback. So there's only really one potential trade, two maybe for quarterbacks. The rest of them you're looking at receiver, edge, and tackle, right? And there are a lot of receiver needy teams at the bottom of the draft in that first round. We're talking the Chiefs. We are talking the Buffalo Bills. I think AD Mitchell, I could think he could go as early as 15 to the Colts, as I already mentioned. I think he could go to the Steelers, get another guy like George, kind of similar to George Pickens there, on the opposite side of him. I I think he's really good. I think he is a top potentially 20 player in this draft. Uh, yeah, you're gonna scroll to his stats and be like, oh, he only had this many yards. All right. Okay, big guy. How about you freaking flip on the film and watch this guy run routes like CeeDee Lamb and catch balls like George Pickens? I mean, is that
In big time games too. Big time games.
yeah, and that is his shtick, but it's not even just the big time game. It's just he does it consistently, when he's on the field and healthy. That's what I mean by consistent. When he's on the field and healthy, he's very good. So I guess you could see the injury concerns there, but like, dude, I think
I'm
he's
not
so.
worried.
I think wide receivers are just going to go earlier, and I think he's one of the better wide receivers in this draft class. I have him as my wide receiver 4 in this draft class, and I think the fourth wide receiver is going to be taken well under 27 and a half. How do you feel?
Yeah.
How do you feel
And
about that? You're sharing this bet with me, so
yeah, I love it. I think there's a tier of wide receivers. I think there's your first tier, if you want to call it. I mean, your top 10 guys, right? Well, Adunze, neighbors and Marvin Harrison, in whatever order you have them in, probably the reverse of that is what kind of consensus is right now. But then you have BTJ and AD Mitchell, two guys that are freaky RAS scores, big, tall receivers can go up and catch football, do whatever you want. And then there's a tier after that. Like that's like I love Live McConkey, you know, like Keon Coleman, love Rick Pearsall, guys like that. Like, but there's a tier separating those two. So I do think like you said, there's gonna be trade up opportunities for AD Mitchell above, well below, I guess, 27 and a half. And also like teams are not gonna trade back when they want a wide receiver, like, oh, I can get, Roman Wilson in the second round. But no, AD Mitchell's in my lap right here at 20. I'm going to take him because he is that much more valuable than a guy like Roman Wilson or a guy like, Xavier Legette or whatever. It's different players, obviously, but you know what I'm saying here, where it's just not worth it to trade down and to get those draft picks when AD Mitchell is a difference maker, an X receiver in this draft class that you can get in the late teens.
Yes. 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 Thank you. A plus the under
And
is it's juice to the over. It's juice to the over. That's nuts.
ridiculous.
You know what I love about all these picks? Aside from, your little Joe Alt parlay builder there. You love the plus money on NFL
Yeah,
draft. That's how you know you're on the right track. Lots of plus money.
because we're not going to be perfect. We're not going to be perfect here, but we
No.
can go 500 and make a good amount of money, and have a lot of fun all doing it.
Well, we could just have
So
Amarius Mims be the third offensive lineman taking this draft class and walk out of here pretty good.
yeah, and but also like you're betting on. It just makes sense. Like I don't know how Vegas does it, where I don't know what they do, where they take a consensus or they have their own ratings or mock drafts or whatever. But like you said, like in the video, like there is value that you can have as a consumer and as a individual where you can hey, like Trey Benson is better than Jonathan Brooks, and here's why. Or it's like Maris Mims is being slept on in the public, but there's going to be some GM that falls in love with him and takes them well before 22 and a half. So that's why these are fun to do. That's why you can find value with it. And it's just like gut feeling and just like opportunity that strikes them. Like that's why like a lot of these picks with over under or top 10 Byron Murphy, whatnot, like there's just you just got to run. The draft is almost like March Madness, where there's like 1,000 different scenarios that can actually go on in the first round, thousands, whatever it is, right? So like you have to find things that like, oh, this could happen even if this happens, or this could happen even this. There's like multiple ways for this to happen, and it just makes sense that I don't know. Long story short, have fun with it, but I think we found some good value here.
I think so too, man. Absolutely think so. I love this time of year. I love this time of year because you think you're right about things and then you're so wrong about them, and then you make a call shot in the dark, and then all of a sudden you're right about it. Yeah, we totally
We're
could be
so
wrong about this
back.
Amarius. We're so back. We so could be wrong about this Amarius Mims thing. But it is what it is. I'm looking at the consensus, Amarius Mims consensus pick. Uh, Average of every mock draft of all the experts is 22nd.
Which makes sense
22nd.
where they get their line from. But by the
Yeah,
way, 22 hits cash.
22 does cash. A lot of people have like, I think the most often is Georgia, or sorry, Dallas Cowboys at 24. But yeah, a lot of people, it's Joe Alt. The consensus, it's Joe Alt, then Fashanu, which I don't know if I agree with that at all, that he should be the second highest. I know you like him a lot, but not the, I like other tackles better. Let's put it that way. Fuanga, and then Fontanu, and then Latham, which, again, are we serious? Amarius Mims is a better version of JC Latham in every single way.
Yeah, that's not even what are we doing?
They're the same size. JC Latham just has more starts. That's it. That's actually it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
nuts.
I can't get on with the Amaris Mims is a boom or bust prospect. I don't see that. If you're worried about the injuries because of his size and like his long-term durability, fine. But nothing he's actually had in high school or in college shows that like he's gonna be an injury riddled Makai back then, right? Like or that's just gonna be luck of the draw, which you cannot predict in any of these prospects. And also like His tape is too damn good, and his physical attributes are too damn good to be a bust. Right? There's no way. There's no way. That's ridiculous.
That's
That,
ridiculous.
that's and I hate to call out journalism and all that, but that's lazy reporting. That's like you see a guy who's 6'8", was a 5-star prospect who didn't get many snaps in college. Oh, he's boom or bust. No, 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 no. He's a boom.
Big, big 6'8" bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, gosh, I'm so pumped, dude. It's 3:30 in the morning, and we just fired that off. That is all of our best bets for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate your support so much. If you would like, comment, subscribe, do all those three things, and look, you'd make us very happy. What are your best bets too? Because like I haven't looked at every single book, to be honest. So if you're on some of those, I don't know if I want to name them here, but something that rhymes with Shmet, Shmem, Shiem. Uh, if you're on that, I would consider putting something in the comments if you found something interesting on there or some other ones as well. I know a lot of books are super unique with their picks, with their bets. Will be really interesting to see what's all out and offered there. And if you're getting better odds in any of these picks than we have up here, it'd be really cool. It's harder to shop lines because there are softwares that do it better for games. I haven't found one yet for a NFL draft that kind of sorts by the odds of where to shop. So this was kind of manual shopping. Yeah, which by the way, if you're actually sports betting, please shop lines. All right, don't be an idiot. All right. But yeah, thank you guys so much. We will be having more draft content this week, so please stay tuned. We're gonna have mock drafts, individual, and one last one that we do together. That one, per the rumors, maybe a 2-round mock draft. I don't know. Could be crazy.
Could be
Could be
smoke. Could
crazy.
be draft smoke.
Yeah, that could just be smoke. That could just be smoke. It is that time of year where everything is smoke. So, CD, anything for us on the way out?
No, hope you guys enjoyed and enjoying our NFL content. But we're a college football show. We love to do college football, and obviously this is a big part of that. But like Manny said, subscribe. We got a lot coming this week, but also therefore after that with college football coming back into full swing.
Come for the NFL draft content, stay for the college football content the rest of the year, right? And we'll
Yeah.
see y'all in the next one.